Okay, so now we're going to show how this translates to docking, okay? I shouldn't say docking, to all of our kempojutsu, okay? So you're here, okay? You have the ability to hit using the weight, okay? If you have to make a step of a sort, to do a step, some sort of a deflection or movement while you're hitting to the person, whatever the case may be, okay? You have your hitting from a longer range, okay? Using the same weight dynamics, essentially, using the knife, okay? Force comes this way, you can angle off, and move into a different position, using this hand guide to hit, okay? Now you have this type of movement, okay? Boom, okay? Boom, mokuroku is very similar in this respect, whether I have a weapon here or not. I'll remember the name of that position eventually, but it's the same idea. This to this for a kempo type of a situation. Okay, so here, boom, just turning the waist, okay, to strike, boom, okay. So all these same applications, if I'm doing some sort of a kotori, okay, boom, boom. See the weight? Okay? It's the same basic idea, okay? We shorten things, but it's the same body dynamics, okay? And that's what's important here. They're consistent. Oh, let's talk jumbo, okay? Shitojutsu, okay? Koshi. Okay, you're here, you're moving as you're doing this. You want to have good circular movement skills, okay? Now, when we're doing something with koshi, it's a little more enclosed, but you still want to have extension, okay? And you want to have footwork that enables you to move into different areas that you need to move into in order to stay safe and attack your opponent, okay? So, the movement, the body positioning, the psychological aspect, the emotional aspect, it's consistent. And the big takeaway here, you're not looking at it as you're fighting one opponent in one place, okay? You're orienting yourself to a multi-dimensional space, okay? Whether this is 2 or 4 rooms, the same principles apply, okay? And that's what you want to understand. Very hard to get through because it's something that just isn't talked about, okay? We're basically training ourselves to not line up against an opponent that's right in front of us. We're teaching ourselves to orient ourselves, okay, against a threat that's ever evolving and can come from any particular direction, okay? Now, the final thing I'm going to go about is the importance of distance and these movements, okay? A lot of mistakes are made because people get very good fine-tuned distancing, but you have to be able to move in a large space as well. And that's where the Hoko Hira movement really, really shines, okay? If somebody's attacking me, let's say I've just completed something here and they're going for my flank, some sort of a cut, or they're trying to control my body. Any fine-tuned movement here, you're going to have to be subject to the knife. It'll become a defensive movement in that respect. In order to be effective, you have to reorient yourself, okay? Wind movement is perfect for that. As this attack comes here, I make a big movement, okay? That allows me to create distance. This hand is there. It can be effective, okay? It's defensive in a sense, but it's also capable, okay? He has to run into that. He's cutting around to try to find my flank, okay? So we need those movements, and Hoko gives us a transitional element to that. So we're here, we make this big kind of movement, we can then get small if we need to again. Boom. Okay? Make that a small circuit movement. Okay? So we now have a complete tool set. All right? We've got the movements we need to function at virtually any distance with an attack that can come from any particular angle or any direction, any vector. And we have it such a way that it doesn't matter whether I have a knife or my hands or a stick. I could show you how this applies if I'm just fighting with a knife, but it doesn't matter. It's very easy to see that, okay? If you just make the connection between your kempojutsu and your knife throwing, cutting with the knife will become just totally explicit. This is something I like to do. I like to give you something more difficult, and then something that is a little bit easier will become very obvious to you, okay? Cutting with the knife is the same basic things because you're throwing as though you're cutting with the blade, okay? It's that simple, okay? So take this information and try to understand the unity of it when you put everything together, the totality of factors that make effective movement, okay? We'll end this there.